Commissioners, this is Wendy. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We fix to get started.
All right, we're live on YouTube.
Okay, we're going to call to order the Jackson County Board of County Commission meeting for September the 8th. If you will, please stand for the invocation and the pledge.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're very thankful for this opportunity we have to come tonight. Thank you for this great country has to be standards, philosophies that everybody is represented. Thank you for our brother Jesus Christ, the atoning sacrifice that He's made for us. We're asking now to bless the commission, presenters tonight, that they may say what they have planned. The commission may have a clear mind and be able to discern what's going to be best for us, the citizens of Jackson County. As these and the other blessings I see fit to bestow upon us, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Rooks. Okay, Ms. Daniels.
We have two additions. One under Section 1, Item E, request board approval of CARES nonprofit organization grant application. And under Section 4, update from GP Strategies monthly update.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Peacock. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carried 4-0. Okay, we have the, whoops. I am so sorry. It is 5-0.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not gonna say I forgot Commissioner Lockie, but I did forget. Well, he did.
I said aye.
Yeah, but I missed it. And I was looking right at you. Sorry about that. 5-0. I've got 4 here and Commissioner Lockie is joining us on the phone. But I missed Commissioner Fires, not Commissioner Lockie.
That's okay, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
You did this time.
Okay, consent agenda items. Has everybody had a chance to look over them? Do we have any questions or comments?
Move we approve.
Got a motion by Commissioner Lockie, second by Commissioner Hill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion carried, 5-0. That sounds good. Okay, item B would be Sheriff Lou Roberts.
Miss Sandy Martin.
Whoops, I'm looking at the old one. Can you hold on just a minute? And I was given a new one, but I did not put it in my book. Okay, Miss Sandy Martin.
Hi, this is Sandy Martin. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak this evening. I'll be brief. Our total cases of COVID-19 in Jackson County at this time is 2,506 with a percent positive rate of 15.8. That's our total rate. I'll give you a couple of rolling rates. A week ago, we averaged 7.41% positive. And this past 7 days, we've averaged 7.49% positive. So certainly it is looking better. However, it remains to be seen what's going to happen as we come together a little more often with schools and football games and things of that nature, as well as our recent Labor Day holiday weekend. We currently have 9 on the COVID wing at Jackson Hospital, with 1 of those on event. Our death count is currently at 69, and 59 of those are long-term care deaths. The number that we are currently monitoring of positive COVID cases is 113. And I thought you might be interested to know the number of school-age children out of that 113, that is 10. I'm available for questions. I don't have anything else to report today.
Okay. Does anybody on the board, Commissioner Peacock?
Sandy, these children, are these in the lower grades or upper grades?
Thank you, Commissioner Peacock. They're all over the map. We've got them younger in I think second grade or so, and then I know that we have some high schoolers as well. So I don't have them spelled out for you to know exactly, but they are older and younger. They're kind of spread out. Sometimes they are siblings of one another with a known positive parent, and so what appears to be, running through a school on closer look is oftentimes within one family unit.
Thank you.
Mr. Spires?
Ms. Martin, do you have any idea why the first graders have not started attending school, or have they started already?
The first graders were supposed to start school today. The reason that they did not start school, they did start online, but the reason they didn't start school initially was because we had several teachers that were out quarantine, and so we're not able to have enough teachers there on hand for first grade to start on time with the rest of the children.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Hill?
Yeah, Ms. Sandy, real quick, at Sunland, what's the total out there of cases and how many are quarantined?
I apologize, I don't have that number with me at present. I can get that number and share
absolutely.
with you though.
Yeah, just send it to me, man, that'd be fine, thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good evening.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, Sheriff Lou Roberts?
I'm here to request the board approval for expending $28,854 for the final payment of the leased Silverado trucks that we had, our first group of vehicles we had actually leased through Enterprise Leasing. This will be the final payment.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Spires.
Where's the
Commissioner
money
Peacock.
coming from?
We have it allocated in our
Budget?
budget.
Okay.
Under the equitable
Sharing.
fund.
Okay.
We felt it best to go ahead and buy them at the price we have, so yeah, that's 3 vehicles.
Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, Mr. Scotty Taylor.
Yes, good evening, board members and
Evening.
Chairman. I'm here to request approval of the USDA Wildlife Service Agreement that we have to remove beavers when they're causing issues mainly down around Compass Lake since I've been on board. It's in the amount of $11,407.54, not to exceed, and then we just use it as needed when we need it to have a beaver removed.
Okay.
Second.
We got a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Spires. Any comments? We must have called them up our way. I don't know.
I've got several over in my district.
Yeah, we got them all. Okay.
But you get one out of the way and the next one is there before you get going good.
Yep, that's right. Okay, we got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried 5-0. Okay?
Thank y'all.
Scotty. Okay. We'll go into the community development and Miss Wendy.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Oh, did I skip one? Hold on.
What did he?
I did. Hold on, Miss Wendy. We got Ms. Carlin on item E.
Thank you. This request is for board approval of the CARES nonprofit organizations grant application. This application specifically identifies the nonprofit organizations that were previously left off of the last application, which was for-profit entities only. Provided eligibility is met, this will allow nonprofit organizations to be reimbursed through the CARES Act based on the criteria listed in the application. Requesting approval and implementation of the application for nonprofit organizations to request CARES funding.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, yes, sir.
was this just inadvertently left off, or is there some question about the eligibility?
We in the original criteria did exclude nonprofit organizations from the application process. It wasn't intentional, it just was, I think, just something we hadn't fully thought through when we were rolling this out. So this would specifically address nonprofits.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Second. Got a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Spires. Any more discussion? Hear none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion carried 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Wendy, you have the floor.
Thank you. So letter A, the first item agenda is to request to set a public hearing for a 1-year extension to an existing development agreement for Dove Rest RV Mobile Home Park. The park is adding 100 RV units and 2 mobile homes to the existing site plan, and they're looking for an extension. We're requesting to set a public hearing for the next board meeting, September 22nd at 6:15 p.m.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Got a motion by Commissioner Peacock, second by Commissioner Hill. Any discussion? Miss Wendy, this is the one that we approved not too long ago, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion carried 5-0. Next.
The next item is a request to set a public hearing for a modification to an existing site plan for Blue Spring Solar Energy Center. The applicant is requesting to move the substation from the southwest corner to the southeast corner of the property and relocating the site entrance from Lawrence Road to Americus Road. We're requesting approval to set a public hearing at the next board meeting, September 22nd, 2020 at 6:15 p.m.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Spires.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wendy, do you consider this a major modification of this development order?
Because we had a public hearing in the past, because it is a modification that required a public hearing, we're going to have to set another one. As far as I know, it is a major modification.
Just moving the location and the substation, it's all staying on the same property. It's not getting any larger or any smaller.
Correct.
Curious as to why.
That's a question for your attorney, if she thinks it needs one. She could tell you it doesn't. Michelle, can you speak to that?
I don't think this board has differentiated between a major or a minor modification of a development agreement. You've historically required a subsequent public hearing for any modification.
The reason I asked the question is we just recently had someone who had a development order who wanted to add 5 feet of concrete or sidewalk or something minor. And maybe we need to establish a policy that once we do these development orders, minor modifications can be made with the approval of whoever. because it takes time to bring it all back to us. And, that's money out of these people's pocket.
I actually asked Michelle to work on that when we get to this part of the code revision, is to create, just like right now, staff can approve a business up to anything below 10,000 square feet. That's a criteria. There's a line to create the same sort of criteria for not having a staff development order. So only if it trips a certain, I don't know what that criteria would be. So
We are
I
working
agree.
on it.
This is cumbersome and unnecessary. in my opinion.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're working on it. That's good. Okay? Any
That's
more?
all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried, 5-0. Okay, Miss Wendy?
Okay, this is letter C, and it is a request to set a public hearing for construction of a 41,600 square foot packing and warehouse facility with a vehicular use area totaling 161,404 square feet of impervious area. We are requesting approval to set a public hearing for the next board meeting, September 22nd at 6:15 p.m.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Peacock, second by Commissioner Lockie. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried, 5-0. Okay, Miss Wendy?
Okay, thank you. The next item, D, is requesting approval of the annual agreement with Emerald Coast Regional Council for the administration of the SHIP program. The 2020-2021 agreement is effective October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021. Requesting approval of the annual agreement and the renewal with Emerald Coast Regional Council for the administration of the SHIP program.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Hill.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Peacock. Do you have a
Are there
question?
any proposed changes?
Miss Wendy, Commissioner Spires.
Yeah. Are there any proposed changes in the contractual agreement?
No, sir, it is basically the same as it was last year. And it was reviewed by Ms. Jordan.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Peacock. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried, 5-0. Okay, Miss Wendy?
Okay, item E. It is time to review the annual SHIP program report for fiscal years 2017 through 18, 2018-19, and 2019 through 2020. The report was generated by Emerald Coast Regional Council, the SHIP administrator, and certification is required by the board, and we are requesting permission for the chairman to sign the certification form.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Spires, second by Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Peacock.
Wendy,
Yes, sir.
these funds that you're reporting on, are they part of that, what is it, 7.4 million?
No, sir. This is the annual funding for the SHIP program. The other 7 million is for the Hurricane Housing Recovery Program.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any more comments, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carried, 5-0. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Wendy.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now we have item A would be Dan, GP Strategies.
Hey, good evening, Commissioners, Board.
Evening.
I'd like to report out on our monthly update. It's going to be mainly project updates for what we have to report out, which is good, right? We've made it through a lot of the initial stages of the projects to get them going, and now we're seeing some pretty good progress on that. So the first slide is going to be a running slide every month for just showing the amount of projects that we have per district. That will move in fluctuation as different projects get completed. And that does include small projects and large projects. So as we go along, there may be a negative variance to that chart showing completed projects to kind of give that visual narrative. The third slide that we have, page number 3, showing a lot of the current FEMA estimates per category. If there are any very detailed questions on this, I would be more than happy to answer them and circle back around to you. So at the end of this or at any time, feel free to ask any questions. The fourth slide is the September project updates. I just wanted to report out that field work is complete for the Endeavor project. We're just getting some final documents for documentation, packaging that project. So just working with the subcontractors to gather that information and go from there. The ag concession building, the pre-construction meeting is at the end of this week. That is along with the admin Lewis pre-construction meeting. They're both going to be on the same day. So that's exciting to get those pre-construction meetings kicked off. There is going to be quite a bit of coordination with the admin staff in the admin building because we want to keep interruptions as minimal as possible while going through and doing construction in the building. So if there's anything that's coming up, just feel free to communicate with us and we will make sure that we work around you all as best as possible. Niels and Cypress, we had some back and forth with alternative projects. I know Eric, we talked about this extensively with Cypress. It was decided I don't want to say the easiest path, but the most feasible path for Cypress was to go with a revised estimate from FEMA that did increase some of the pricing, but the actual pricing for the like-for-like scope was the direction that we were going to go with for the Cypress building. Do you have any questions specific to that?
Yeah, well, did you have that cost to that one that affects that building? What's the cost analysis on that? The one we're going with?
The cost analysis is going to be a paid for like. And then when we get the proposal and the bid docs completed, CRA will have a estimate for the, not alternatives, but the extra projects that you wanted to potentially have done during construction.
Okay. But the cost wasn't around 46,000.
That was the previous cost. I think it was around 39. Unofficially, oh man, I hate spitting numbers like this, but unofficially, I think they bumped it about 20 grand for what they considered cost of that building.
Okay.
It'll be paid on actuals though.
Okay.
Okay. PPDR, we've got it targeted to start the 16th. We've got a meeting with DRC and Thompson though, the 14th. At that time, we're going to go through and mark vehicles, start on that process, getting the subcontractor on board with what Thompson's expectations are for PPEDR. And I see a little typo there. I apologize for that. But the intent with that project is to get these properties cleared as soon as possible. That's going to take some coordination with the property owners. I know the right-of-ways were established quite a while ago. So Thompson, I'm sorry, did someone say something? Okay. Thompson is needing to reach back out to those folks just to make sure that the right-of-ways are good to go, and we're making citizens aware that we're coming onto their property, so we minimize any situations. I would like to give some props to Hunter. He has been an exceptional asset to the small project side of the program. There's been a lot of coordination that's needed to happen with the department heads, and he has really taken the reins and assisted quite a bit. So he actually has coordinated for the fiber optic line from the correctional facility to the courthouse. They're going to be having a walkthrough with that this week. And also fencing, getting all of the fencing together with all the small projects so that we can kind of align with the commissioner's ideology of combining small projects into one larger one to attract more attention. So he's done a very good job helping with that. Emergency signs. Again, we had the FEMA inspections that the county has been complying with to revalidate a lot of those original inspections that took place in 2019. So Scotty's team has been great working with FEMA, getting what they need to kind of get it done and move on from there. So 4399, we're still developing the scope validation for that and what it's going to take to move on that project. From what I understand, Will-Ann has some correspondence that she's following up with, and we're making progress on resolution to that. So thank you, Will-Ann. Citizens Lodge project, the roof completion is at roughly 65% complete. So that is moving along nicely. We've got a finish date. It's going to be either around the end of October, first part of November for Citizens Lodge. So, we've run into some undiscovered damage that we really couldn't see until we got some of the roofing off. So there's been some, separation and trusses that were caused by the hurricane winds. But we're working with the engineers and the contractors to get that resolution taken care of. All right, 4177 road construction. We've got a tentative start 9/23. Ms. Danielle, I did try to reach out to Mr. Owen today to get some information on the audit process for the procurement stuff. So still waiting a correspondent back from him. Spring Creek, we're almost there. All it lacks is the paperwork, which is one of the most important things. So working with Missy Mossy to gather that, believe that we have pretty much everything. They've been good with providing documentation for receipts and expenses. So we're finalizing that and putting that together. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
On 4177, you got a start date of 9/23. Have y'all started working on a request for an extension?
Yes, sir. Yes, we have an extension that needs to go out by the end of the month for that. So,
okay.
Yes, we are fully aware of that. Yes, sir.
By when? The end of the month?
Yep.
Yes, sir. 90 days before the deadline, which is at the end of the year. So the deadline to get the extension out is at the end of September.
Is that for all the projects?
No, this is just 4177.
That's what I mean, all the projects underneath that. I mean, are you talking about for yours specifically, or was you, or talking about all the projects?
All 4177.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yes,
my
sir.
road improvements has been approved by FEMA, has to be done by December 31st.
I would have to validate that. But from my understanding, it's 4177 scope would need that extension. I can provide feedback on that to you by
Wait a
tomorrow.
minute. You're saying that I have to have Sweet Pond Road paved by December 31st?
Uh-huh.
That's what we talked about last meeting. Is there a budget?
That's why the extension request is critical.
But we cannot rely on that. We need to be moving.
Okay.
We have had extensions and extensions. At some point, they're gonna run out.
Yes, sir.
So I wouldn't count on no extension. Better get through.
Is those contracts let for that?
No. Well, we hadn't got do we have, we do have approval to start on the, with Missy Mossy on the, we're waiting on approval from the state.
We wanted it in writing.
We don't have it?
That's what he was saying.
That's right.
We won't have the project approved until December 31st. We don't get
Who do we
moving.
need to call? Seriously? Well, Ann, do we,
I can call Owen directly.
who's the boss?
Owen is the boss of the consulting firm that's working for the state, or I can call
The state.
Melissa Shira. That's
Call the
who's the
state.
boss.
Who, Kevin?
Verbal from Owen. That's who gave him the verbal,
A verbal for,
saying everything was good to go.
I want the extension.
No, it's
Well, that's a process. You just submit it, and then it goes through
Better.
the approval process.
better get the approval to go to head where you can go to work, and get as much done, because they might not get the extension.
As for letting all these projects will be out by Friday or no later than Monday for bid. I've got almost all of them together. So like I said, all of them will be out for bid then. And then I'll be working with Dan and them to get this extension done. And I'll be talking to who we need to talk to make sure that we get the extension on it.
Okay, that's,
I'll call Melissa tomorrow and say we need it in writing, if that's what we're after.
Yeah, we need.
and that, and Scotty, that was the 3 road improvements.
Shiloh, Collins, and Cypress.
And
Sweet Pond.
And Sweet Pond and everything. 4177 in general will have to be extended. The whole thing is the way it'll work. The whole project has to be extended.
Well, I want mine done.
Well, they're all gonna get done. You know, it's just,
'Cause I don't
but
believe it's
that's just the
mine.
way the extension will work. It'll cover the whole project. It won't just be one road or that road. It'll be the whole project.
Okay, that's on the improvement. The other stuff we're waiting on from the state to give us the go-ahead to let the bids, the low bidder to go ahead and go to work, right? Everybody's on the same page. Go ahead.
Scotty,
Yes, sir.
how about the Lime Rock Road? When are we?
As
Start
far as I know, as of before I was out last week, everything was satisfied on that. And I talked with Audie Howe today, and we're trying to get set up to have a pre-construction tomorrow or Thursday on that to go to work.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Scotty, so that wasn't on the bid out on 4177 that we're waiting for the state to give us the go-ahead?
That was on the rock roads where it was sent to the state, and I think GP Strategies, when I came in last Wednesday morning, and he talked about, they had looked at it, and said that everything was there. I don't know if are we waiting on something in writing from that, or
Yes.
maybe I misunderstood.
So that was bid out the same time the improvements
It was
was.
part of that.
Yeah, we
Oh,
should
right.
have never, but, okay, so we're still waiting.
So we're dropping a lime in 2 weeks?
Yeah. Hopefully.
I hope so. I mean,
Very
I
good.
hope I don't have another stumbling block. But yes, sir. I mean, that's the plan, is that the pre-construction, get him to provide his schedule, get all of his stuff, and go to work.
Very good, thank you.
Is that
Yes, sir.
Missy Malty too? Yes, it is. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
All right, good questions. I also provided a project timeline as well. So as we go through and start these projects, we're going to be tracking progress on them. And this kind of gives you a visual of the start dates and the target finish dates as well. So if you guys have any questions on those, just let me know.
Yep. On the signs, are we through with FEMA checking the signs? I mean, on this thing, it said that, how did it say it? Emergency signs target start has slipped 3 weeks.
Yes, sir.
FEMA has done all of their inspections with us, and I'm waiting on the results of what they done.
Good, because now all our workers can go back to fixing roads.
Well, they're fixing to do 100% validation on the roadways.
Oh, Lord.
Are we
Yeah.
going to have to supply the manpower for that?
Yeah.
Well, me and Will Ann's going to discuss that tomorrow on how to approach that. I feel like that Alde Howe, who did the initial inspection, should be involved in that, because they're the ones that understand why they put that damage on the damage report. They worked with the FEMA people that were here early on in it 2 years ago. That way, whoever comes from FEMA, it's fully explained to them, because like with the district supervisors, yeah, they were involved, but not at the level of the in-depth inspections. But we've got to address that, because that's money. And, we've already done this once, so we got to look at is they want us to do it again, or are they going to reimburse us? But those are questions I got to get answers to.
I agree.
Okay.
All right. The last slide is showing some of the debris removal activities at Endeavor site, showing series loading the stumps up and getting them out. We had an injury-free project with a lot of material moving around, a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of equipment, but some equipment, heavy equipment going on. So anytime that you can get a job done on time with no injuries is a good project. So, and also staging area showed at Citizens Lodge, and some of the roped off areas that they have, and some of the progress that they're making on that route. So things are moving out there, a lot of projects. There's going to be a lot of progress that we are seeing in the next few months. So just get ready. That's all I can say.
Okay. Good job. Good deal.
Thank you all.
Anybody got any questions for Dan or Scotty? Okay, Scotty, don't.
I'm not going nowhere.
You done been summoned.
No, I'm
Okay.
not going nowhere. I have something at roundtable I want to ask too.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that completes our agenda. We will go into the roundtable now, and we go to Michelle first.
I don't have anything.
Okay, Ms. Willan.
I just wanted to bring back up from the special meeting, you all should have been supplied with this Meet the Members packet regarding the steering committee for the convention and museum. See if there was any additional questions we could answer or feedback that you all would like to give.
There was a typo on this that was brought to my attention by Christie, just trying to get it done. Like Brian Braxton is District 2, and I can't remember District 4, who was District 5?
John Hamilton.
Okay, in District 5 there. District 5. Okay. So, any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
We appointed 5 people, there's 12 here. So that means got 7, we got 5. When it comes time to vote.
Mr.
I
Chairman,
don't feel comfortable with that.
Yep. Go ahead,
I wasn't
Commissioner
aware
Locke.
I was not aware that we appointed one. If you're gonna have one for each commissioner, I would like to have a District 3 represented.
Okay,
Now, I was
So
under
if you have,
the impression, Commissioner Lackey, that you okayed Mr. Travis Blanton being District 3's representative.
wasn't aware of that. Nobody brought that up to me, but that's fine. If you're gonna do Travis, that's fine.
okay.
We'll table this and let's look at 2 weeks.
Is that a motion?
Make a motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Hill to table. Got a second by Commissioner Spires. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion carried. Table. Okay?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Commissioner Peacock.
Scotty,
Yes, sir.
when are we going to get the motor graders, the new ones?
Late December, early January. I have spoken with a contractor, and we're supposed to meet on him possibly renting us a machine, or working on some prices on renting us an additional machine, at a lot better rate than we were getting from CAT, for me to present to y'all to help. And we sat down last Tuesday and kind of expanded the district, and they're supposed to be getting me a list, the district supervisors are, of who's going to be in the seats on Fridays and all of them until we get all their machines back.
Is there any possibility they will loan us some machines?
They won't loan us anything. They'll rent us some, but that rate is $11,000 a month.
Okay.
I'm working, like I said, with some contractors to see about getting some quotes for them to rent us like on an hour basis or whatever.
Okay.
Explore my options.
Yeah, what was the rate on Missy Mossy?
Yeah.
I don't have it right here in front of me, but it's way better than that.
Danielle said what?
It's $135 an hour,
Right.
but that's with a person on.
With a person.
That's with a person and doing the work. So that's,
Ooh, that's 5,400.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was, can I say it? Can I say it? Yeah, where's that money gonna come from? I had to.
Well, I was gonna ask one question.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you. Scott, would you do me a favor and just print me out a copy of that, Pine Rock Road Committee ones that we doing, please?
oh,
Just email.
print out, it broke up on, I couldn't, what did you
Yeah, so
need?
the roads that's getting limed, I'd just like a copy of those, please, if you just email it to me at your convenience.
And that were bid out in your district?
Yes, please.
Make
I
it
sure will.
District 5 also.
I'll send it to everyone that,
That'll work.
I got one more thing, Scotty.
yes, sir.
Chairman, I've been trying for about 3 years to get a culvert repaired going into Camellia Acres. If you're not familiar with it, it's a area right there behind the VA clinic off of Highway 90, one way in, one way out. There's about 40 houses. They have a street, then there's a culvert that goes under the street. there is a problem in that something's happened with the culvert and the street is splitting and sinking. Scotty has been trying to get someone to insert a pipe or a liner in there and pump it full of concrete. I don't think he's having a lot of luck getting this contractor to go. I would like permission for the board to allow him to go out for bid on that. If he can't get that contractor to do the work within the next week, put it out for bid, maybe get someone to come in there, they'll do it at night, dig out the pipe and put it in. That's my motion.
Okay, Scotty, can that be done overnight?
Yeah, it can be done overnight.
And that's only one way in and one way out?
Yes, sir.
Parking the vehicle hospital and not walk if they have to.
Well, we may be able to use someone's yard. To get
Yeah, I mean, before we attempt something like that, we would make sure that we got temporary easement across we'd do something. We make sure that we get EMS.
I'm thinking the wrong place. I was thinking that one place where you go in, I can't remember who lives.
You go into the left of the VA clinic.
Oh, okay.
And go back in there. It's a very nice community.
They're behind the.
And I think it probably wouldn't have to be opened up but about 4 foot wide there. And you could actually bridge that with steel plates if you had to, in an emergency situation.
Subdivision, come off of 90 and go in there and there's a bunch of houses in there.
Yeah, right by.
We're talking about maybe Indian Springs.
Yeah, that's a located.
That's Eagles Landing.
I was thinking that, oh Lord, they wouldn't be no getting in and out. Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Peacock, second by Commissioner Hill. Know somebody's gonna say, where's that money going?
Road construction.
Right, okay. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carried 5-0.
That's all I've got.
Okay, Commissioner Lockie, glad to have you here on the phone. And, do you have anything?
Well, I don't, but hopefully if the good Lord's willing and the doctors will approve it, I'll be at the next board meeting.
Very good.
Good.
Forward to see you.
Right.
Yes, sir. Okay, Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Spires.
No, sir, I was heavy.
Okay, Clay, Danielle. One thing.
Have what I have received the bill for the preparation of the trim notices from the property appraiser. Need approval to pay Cathedral Corporation $4,670.
Okay,
Second.
got a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Peacock. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried 5-0. Is that it? Okay, I'm gonna ask the sheriff if he has anything right now. Okay. Miss Daniels?
Yes, I do have a proposal, if you all would consider it, on the steering committee. Since you all did appoint from your districts, would you be open to creating a steering committee just with those 5 appointments for now, to be revisited at a later time so that we could get started on our timeline?
I'm fine with that. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay.
With one caveat, I would like Commissioner Pate to also be on that committee.
That's fine.
Okay, Commissioner Lockie, did you hear that proposal?
I did not.
Okay, Ms. Daniels asked to go with the appointments from the commissioners plus myself to start being on the committee where we can get started. Is that
Yeah,
on the
I'm fine with
steering
that.
committee? Okay,
The only question, Mr. Chairman, with all due all respect to everybody, is isn't 12 an awful lot of people to be on a committee?
Well, that's why I'm proposing we start with these 6. That would include you, and then we can revisit to add 2 or even possibly some subcommittees as we identify specific needs that we can address that at a later time.
That's fine. I'm good with it.
The 5
it would
that we
be-
appointed and myself.
It would be Lily Clark, Brian Braxton, Travis Blanton, Paul Smith, John Hamilton, and Commissioner Pate.
Let's go with that and see what happens.
Okay. So I got lost.
Motion.
Motion,
Second.
second. Okay, any more discussion? We're gonna go with the 5 appointees from the commissioners, myself being the TDC chairman and a representative from the board.
And then the board will look at it 2 weeks, whether we want any more in.
If you all want to.
Or if we want to change it, that's right. That's
Right.
Or if we want to change it, right, that's correct.
That'll just keep us on track with
You
our
know,
timeline.
just for the timeline.
Change it on ad or change it on the people we just.
Yeah, no, it's right.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried, 5-0. Okay, anybody else have anything?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead,
I had-
Scotty.
I've had a individual reach out to me about possibly entering into an agreement that they would cut and bale hay at the East Landfill site and at the Large Area Citizens Lodge at no cost to us. Is that something that if I present it, y'all would consider? I know we'd have to get some insurance and some liability stuff off of us, but he reached out to me. I don't have his name right here with me. I left a note on my other desk, but I just, before I spend a lot of time with it, is that something we consider? I mean,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if y'all
Commissioner.
recall, I think Dr. Spires would recollect this, but we had someone one time that was going to cut it for the hay, but we wound up having to bid it out to see the best price we could get. And then we just had problems with getting that individual, whoever it was, to cut the hay. And I don't think that worked very long. I think Rhett was around when that happened. He can probably elaborate on that, but it was just hard to get somebody to cut it when we needed it cut.
I
But-
agree.
I'm sorry?
I was gonna say, I agree with you. It would have to be bid out, would it not? Not legal representative?
Yeah, Michelle, are you still on?
I'm here.
Would we have to bid this out? I think that's what we're thinking.
So is this a service that the board is actively looking for, or is this something that someone's just come forward and offered to do?
they reached out to me and come forward and offered to do it.
Is this something that you normally do in-house?
No. We
We
just cut
cut
it.
the
now.
grass.
We cut the grass now is all we do.
Save us the money of cutting grass. If somebody.
I
And
understand, but
And if they don't cut it, I mean, we'll continue to cut it like we're doing, you know.
I guess my position is that we'll have to give someone else the opportunity if they want to bid on it. I mean, I don't care who does it, but we need to extend the opportunity to other people.
Well, right, and then ask a question, too, on that, Spire's point. Michelle, if they offer to do it free, how would you compete with that if someone else offers also to do it for free? How do you decide which of the two? If you don't bid it out, if someone bid $1 and someone's still doing it for free, doesn't free trump them unless you have multiple bids of free? I mean, how do you handle that?
I think you would have to try to declare the hay or grass to be surplus and not needed for a public purpose. And you would still need to advertise the disposal of that.
Frost will be here before we get it cut.
Well, I guess technically, let me ask.
Yeah.
When you talk about free, if you really do a final analysis, you may discover the person who's doing the cutting and baling may actually sell the hay. So that person was making a profit and other people not have had the opportunity.
I think it should be bid out if we do it. I just wondered how you distinguished if you had several people that said, I would do it for free. But again, I mean,
Chairman.
Yes, yes, sir, go ahead, Commissioner Locke.
I think you'll find out, you may not have many takers. The one that wanted to do it and did it for a couple of times finally just said it just wasn't worth the time or the effort. It cost him money basically to move his equipment and do that. So, and we're not talking about a lot of hay, I don't think. So, I don't think you'll have a lot of takers on that, and then have them provide insurance.
He might want it to grow a lot longer than what we can stand for it to be seen.
Right, and like I said, I just started out there because, like I said, I didn't want the individual to say I did not.
Okay.
Ask the question, like I said, but I will get it all together, do a little research on it, and report back to y'all on it.
Okay.
How many acres, if you would surmise, it would be?
I want to say there's about probably 60 acres altogether usable that you could do.
Well, the reason I'm asking that from our standpoint, again, if the Commissioner Locke said it, the other one didn't do it correctly. If these people did, whoever was awarded it, whatever, that would save our people from mowing 60 acres how often according to
every month. What with landfill, we've been doing it. It would do it twice a year, 3 times a year. Right now there's so much stuff out there we got to fix. We're going to be doing a lot of work out there when it cools off. That's from the storm, that we got to do still that was never done.
Well, I still need to get right of ways cut, much less get the lodge out, cut it for hay. But I think what wound up was providing the liability insurance, which I would want to be provided to us.
Right.
It just wasn't worth the effort or the cost to do it. So we just mutually agreed that you don't do it anymore, and we won't hold you to it. Because I don't know how much it is, but it would be, what our minimal liability would be on that. But in the meantime, we could check with FACT and see if it would be covered under that.
If we wait long enough, Commissioner Locke, we might be able to bail yours.
Well, I got right of ways that's 5 foot tall in places. Can't get it cut.
Oh Lord.
I'll make sure somebody's on it tomorrow.
Scotty.
Like I said, we could have missed it. Like I said, I know now, and I'll see about it. Like I said,
this wasn't missed.
This just first thing in the morning in the truck.
This hadn't been missed. This just hadn't been cut. Period.
Like I said, I'll make sure it's taken care of starting in the morning. I promise you.
Okay. If you come by my house in the morning, I'll be glad to, or tomorrow afternoon.
What time? What time do you want me to come by?
Let's do it about 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock at your house?
Yes.
I'll be there.
Bring that sling blade.
Yeah. Bring a chainsaw.
Ooh.
I ain't scared.
Okay. Fred, do we have anything else here on the board? If not, Fred, we need to open it up for public comments.
Okay, if any member of the public would like to speak, you may press *9 on the raise hand feature on Zoom or your mobile device. We do have one hand up. It's Miss Ronston's from earlier. So
Go ahead, Ms. Ronston.
Hi, commissioners.
Hello.
I have a question regarding the steering committee. I'm looking at the list, and I wasn't clear who represented District 2 and who represented District 5. Can you clarify that?
District 2 is Brian Braxton.
Okay.
And District 5 is
John Hamilton.
John Hamilton. These were selected by the commissioners. Yes.
Okay, because I was under the impression, I know Commissioner Locke said he didn't select his, and I don't remember Commissioner Spires, I guess he selected his, I'm not sure. But my concern is when you're putting these committees together, you gotta have diversity. and I know you're gonna expand later, but for now, you only have 5 plus yourself, Commissioner Pate, and you have 1 African American on there, which is Ms. Lily Clark. We have to do better when it comes to diversifying these committees that's making the decisions for the community. We have to do better. We have to do better. So I don't know how long you're gonna go with just having the 5, but these 5 are gonna make some initial decisions, and you only have 1 African American on that steering committee. And I think you need to revisit that, because it's not gonna look good to the community. They're already watching this, trying to figure out how this is gonna unfold, how these decisions are being made. So I'm asking you to revisit that and make sure you have a diverse group when you're putting these committees together. It's only fair. We have to do better. We have to. That's all.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Anybody else, Fred?
Yes.
Okay.
Linda B. Franklin.
Okay, Ms. Franklin?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I think Ms. Pittman answered the question I had about the steering committee. I was on the 3:30 special meeting, and I heard all of the comments that was made about the steering committee. But being just and fair and equal to the community, you say that you are revamping that project at Dozier for the entire Jackson County community, then you need the feedback from all of the Jackson County representation from the Jackson County community. Commissioner Pate, you said, why was I on there? I'm a long time resident of Jackson County. I've been here all my life. I know the county like the back of my hand. I know the history of the county and the interest in this county. I have a long time stance of interest for the county. So when you do this, you need to look at the community and do it just and equitably correct. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Fred? Thank you, Ms. Franklin.
At this point, I see no more hands raised.
Okay. At this point, the meeting is adjourned.